In the morning when we rise, oh, in the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, give us Jesus. Give us Jesus. Give us Jesus. You can have all this world. Give us Jesus. I'm recording this on Wednesday morning after a long night of hoping and fretting, of turning off the TV and turning off my Facebook and turning it back on and everything in between. And as I awoke this morning, this spiritual was in my spirit. Because regardless of how we voted or for whom we voted or for what reasons we voted or didn't vote, this is where we are this morning. And as a spirit-led person who believes that each of us and all of creation is created by divine love, which for me is embodied in the unconventional, radical, inclusive love of Jesus. On this morning, this is what I am yearning for as a person, as a minister, as your conference minister. And so I share this morning with you and today that we are divine love, that we are God's beloved community, and that whether we are excited or whether we are deeply saddened, we are still God's beloved community together. As I was reflecting this morning and lighting my candle, reminding me of God's light, reminding me of God's light in the sacred scriptures that I cling to and go to and preach from and have hope in, what I continue to come back to is that the Bible is not full of stories when all of God's people agreed, when everyone said, yes, this is what we shall do, this is who we shall be, we will do what is good and fair and loving. And it's in those moments from which, in those moments, we have God's presence and divine love that gives us inspiration, that gives us a kick in the pants, that gives us peace, that gives us hope. So this morning and this day and these days, as we are somehow trying to hold ourselves together as a country, as beloved community, as a family, I invite us to go to our sacred scriptures and hold up those of us among us who are the prophets, who from our sacred scriptures are going to be the ones who lament, who run into our streets and preach, no, watch out, this is not okay. but also remember those among us who are the storytellers, who remind us of who and whose we are at the very moment when we feel like we are in exile, when we feel like we need to be reminded and we need to remember our creation stories. Those among us are the writers and the poets and the artists, and that we will go to our sacred scriptures like the psalmist, who is able to express himself and herself and ourselves at the very moment of anger and pain and confusion and fear, and say, I don't get it, God, and I don't get you, God, but you get me. And that is what I will cling to. And those among us who are the wisdom teachers, the rabbis, the ones who make room at the table and teach us how to embody that divine love that speaks truth to power, that speaks empowerment to the voiceless, and that speaks reform and forming again of how we are supposed to be, beloved community. And the visionaries among us, the Pauls and the Lydias, who are going to imagine that there is still great light and great goodness and great love waiting to be birthed and birthed again. Yes, go to our sacred scriptures in this moment, oh brothers and sisters of the Missouri Mid-South Conference, because that is where we will find our comfort, our peace, our love, our hope, our creativity, and our beloved community. Last night, as I was in Texas, and my two exchange students, one from Germany and one from Poland, had to go to bed because they had to get up this morning at 5:30 in the morning for school. And so I said, I will text you who won the presidential election. And since I don't get up at 5:30 when they get up and leave for school, I did not text them because when I went to bed at 1 in the morning, I still didn't know. And so this morning I texted them, and my message, I feel like, is my message for all of us. And it will be my sermon in text message form for many seconds and minutes and hours and days and weeks to come. So hear my love in my text message to my family and to our family. To Luca and Philip and my husband David. Sorry I didn't text you the results last night. When I went to bed, they still hadn't named Trump as the winner. I am sad, and others are happy today, but now our work really begins. Luca and Philip, the two of you have immense privileges. In your country and here in America, with your privilege comes huge responsibility. Speak out against power that hurts or oppresses others. Value the goodness in each and every person. Don't judge someone who is different than yourself. Give your power away in order to help those with no power. Respect those with whom you disagree by listening to them with your mind and with your heart. This is love. And when you love, we will be okay. I love you, Luca. I love you, Philip. I love you, David. I love you, Missouri Mid-South Conference. And I love you, all of the United States of America. And most of all, I love you, all of God's beloved community. Now let us go out and live